Common mistakes that may make that end up destroying their relationship. Welcome back, guys, to my channel once again, and I'm so glad to be here another day. On this video, I'll be sharing with you some of the common mistakes that my dear men always make that end up destroying your relationship with your partners. These mistakes are always done. Always make them knowingly or sometimes unknowingly. You don't get to realize that you're doing something that is really destroying your relationship. So in this video, I'll be sharing with you some of the common mistakes that always make, my dear men, that destroy your relationship with your partners. Number one is taking your partners for granted, my dear men. This is the commonest mistake that you always make, my dear men. Thinking that you've gotten this person and you get to relax, you get to chill, you no longer like put in much effort as you used to do when you're trying to vibe her, when you're trying to attract her. My dear men, this is always a bad thing that you always make and end up destroying the relationship, is taking your partner for granted. Like you get to a state where you're not active in spending quality time with your partner as you used to do in the beginning when the relationship was just still very new. There are things that you used to do. You no longer prioritize spending quality time. You no longer get to do certain things that you used to do together with her. That will always be taking your partner for granted, and this will always spoil your relationship. It is very important that in each stage, whenever you get to have a relationship with someone, it's very important to keep that love burning, that keep doing the same things that you used to do. Add on, get to still chill out, spend quality time together without getting to that comfort zone where you feel relaxed, you feel that, oh, I already got this person, she's mine now, and you get relaxed. You no longer want to take her out, you no longer want to spend some time with her, you no longer want to call her, check her throughout the day as you used to do, my dear man. That is always a bad thing, my dear man. And this will always spoil your relationship, because this person will always be thinking of the other person that you used to be, who has changed into another person, and that will always change or destroy your relationship, my dear men. And number two is not listening to your partner. My dear men, listening and communication always go hand in hand, my dear men, in a relationship. If you always don't get to listen to your partner, it's a very bad thing, because listening is very important. Whenever your partner is trying to communicate something or getting to share what they think about certain matters, you always have to show them or to listen to them attentively, or get to allow them express how they feel about certain things without you interrupting. Show that you have given them your full attention, you're listening to them, and you're understanding what they are trying to express or to show on certain matters in the relationship. This always help you build your relationship. But if you don't listen to your partner, you don't allow them to express or to give you their thoughts about certain things, certain decisions, my dear mate, this will always spoil the relationship that you have with your partner. Because if you don't listen to your partner, they will always feel unheard and not worthy in the relationship. So you always have to give them your full ears, get to understand them, get to listen to them once in a while whenever you try to have a topic or certain matters in your relationship. Get to allow them share their feelings, share their thoughts about certain matters. Another common mistake that, my dear men, that you always make is having much influence of your families, friends into your relationship. This will always spoil a lot in your relationship. Having that full or much influence of your family members getting to give you certain things or tell you certain things about your partner, or to try to give you or to decide for you on what you should do in your life, in your relationship. That will always spoil things with your partner, because if you have much influence of your family members into your relationship, much influence of your friends' opinions in your relationship, you'll always get to have these constant arguments, disagreements, because you'll always feel or get to take opinions from your family members, your friends, and that will not be a good thing to the other side of your partner. Things will really not work out if you get to allow people from outside, like your family members and friends, to have that full power into your relationship. This will always spoil the whole thing, my dear men. You always have to put limits on your family members and friends in your relationship. Let them have a limit where they stop in intruding or in having access to your relationship with your partner. Get to have that cold moment, get to make certain decisions on your own with your partner. You shouldn't allow people to give you opinion on what to do with your partner, on what to do, on what to make your relationship look like. So you always have to have a limit of your family members and friends in a relationship, my dear men. That will always help you work out things with your partner smoothly. Another common mistake that, my dear men, you always make, that will always spoil your relationship, that will always destroy your relationship without you knowing, is not respecting your partner's boundary. My dear men, respect is very key in a relationship. Privacy, respecting your partner's privacy, boundaries is very important if you want to have a healthy relationship. Getting to know where you stop in intervening in your partner's privacy is very important. So if you don't respect your partner's boundary, every time you're the one trying to check into their phones, getting to intervene in their personal space, like they're out with friends, you're the one calling, where are you, what, such kind of things. It's very important to allow your partner get to have that privacy, that personal space, without you intervening, without you being so clingy on them. That will always help your relationship grow. Feel that guilt to allow your partners to miss you, get to be needed, but every time you're into their space, you don't respect their boundaries. That will always be a turn off to them. Disrespect is always a turn off, and it will always destroy a relationship whenever you don't respect each other. Another common mistake that you always make, my dear men, that end up destroying your relationship with your partners, is not respecting them. This is always, respect is very vital, is very key in any healthy relationship. Getting to know, getting to understand, or to have boundaries in a relationship, and if you respect your partner's boundary, things will always work out so well with you. Your relationship will be so healthy. But if you don't respect their boundaries, you're ever into their space, you're ever trying to check out in their phones, getting to them in their personal space, you're being so clingy on them, this will always be a turn off and will always make your relationship so toxic, full of quarrels, full of disagreements on certain things. So respect is very important. Lastly on my list, on the common mistakes that, my dear men, you always make that end up destroying your relationship, is not showing empathy. What do I mean here by empathy? Empathy is always the ability to understand each other's feelings, my dear men, and it's one of the most important factors for any healthy relationship to grow, for any healthy relationship to last long. You always have as partners to always get to understand each other's point of view, to understand each other. But if as partners you fail to understand each other's point of view on how you see things, on how you see certain matters, you always feel unheard and ignored. So my dear men, if you don't show empathy to your partner, they will always feel unheard and ignored, and that will always lead to the end of the relationship, end up destroying the relationship, the good relationship that you've had with your partner, because of not showing empathy, not being able to understand your partner's feelings. So those are always some of the common mistakes, my dear men, that you always make. Some of you may make them unknowingly. You don't even get to realize that you're doing things that are really destroying the relationship. But in that way, in this video, hope you've gotten to learn and understand these common things that you always make that destroy your relationship, and you've learned a lot. So if you've been doing such things, you get to change, good turn around things so that you can really work out your relationship very well with your partner. That's all I had for you, and get to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that. See you in the next video. Bye bye.